for. We all bleed the same, no matter where we're from. When the world gets heavy, we don't come undone. Here's to the ones who served, to the dreamers and the brave, to stand side by side.
It's Sunday, June 7th, and you tune into the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6. Right now, you're listening to WeP3 Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Together, we share our missions, remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach to future generations the value of freedom. A freedom bought, paid, and secured for by the brave men and women who have worn our national and our local uniforms. Stay tuned for We Got Your 6 at 6. Now playing on WeP3 Radio, new artist, Chris Lozano. Freedom leads the way.
Every creek, we're all woven in the same design. We all bleed the same, no matter where we're from. When the world gets heavy, we don't come undone. Here's to the ones who served, to the dreamers and the brave, to stand side by side, no matter what they say.
Left your left, hey. Left right, your left. You got it!
Trucker. Talkers, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Trucker.
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project. I'm here with Mark and Frank tonight to bring you our weekly show called We've Got Your 6 at 6. Every week, we bring in a guest and an artist, and then we share all the good and sometimes not so good things that are happening in our world. Tonight, we have Ali Hemyari here with Nashville K-9 and the Hemyari family companies, and we will have music by Darren and Forced Hammer tonight. We are going to look forward to our Catch 22 sponsors. This is Eric Iozio, who has his peer leadership group that you can join. Anybody can join, hop in. It's a meeting just for friendship, camaraderie, support. If you're looking for any support, or just hang out over the coffee cup with the gang. Derek Iozio, again, thank you very much. We love having him around. Then we have got Operation Texas Strong with Bobby and Peggy Krutzinger. They are out doing good in the world, taking used RVs, bringing them to their campground down there in Weatherford, Texas, and taking veterans off the street and giving them homes in these amazing RVs that are donated. Oh my gosh, guys, some are like RV Mahal, like Taj Mahal RVs. So cool. Thank you, Peggy and Bobby Krutzinger. And then we have got Stephen Rainwater and Jonathan Wills, who are these amazing tech, help you fix your technology world people called Business Growth Engine. Thanks, guys. We appreciate everything you do for us. We love having you in our world. Thank you so much, Stephen and Jonathan, for all the things, and then some more of the things. My gosh. We would like to just thank our audience, our sponsors, our guests, everyone who's listening. Just can't thank you enough for being around. But before we dive into this week's show, please just take a moment and join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
It is not November. Oh my gosh, it's June 7th for Pete's Sakes, and you are here for We Got Your 6 at 6.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine! I just got three things to say.
It's on the loop every week.
Right.
Folks. Every week. It's on the loop.
America
What the heck?
And gentlemen,
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Again.
Unbelievable. Why does it do that? Where did we lose our friend?
Uh-oh.
I'm still here.
Oh. Maybe I texted him and maybe he answered me and then we lost him. Oh no.
Well.
Oh no. Look what happens. We've got Amanda saying hello. Love you, Amanda.
Amanda in the house.
The
Derek
Godfather himself. Yes, there he is.
The whole crew, everyone's chiming in, good to go.
We love our
here.
Derek.
We're here. We'll get our other guest back.
He'll be back.
And we got Ollie Hemyari here from Nashville K-9. Oh my gosh, guys, you're not going to believe. You're not going to believe it. You're not. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an amazing mission down in Nashville, and we got Darren here too. I don't know why he's trying to sneak off and stuff.
That was, Marines and technical problems. So
he didn't like our intro, so he kicked out, and so we had to pay him to bring him back. So, well, we are here. We come here every Sunday at 1800 Central Standard Time, and we take up a little bit more than an hour of your time. Sometimes it's close to 2 hours, but again, I don't know. Darren got the feedback. If you have a hard out, need to go, we'll take care of you. We'll get your stuff up, and we'll make sure people hear it. Darren is here as a musician with a band called Forced Hammer. Where are you guys based out of, Darren?
we're out of San Diego, California.
Oh, you one of those guys, California. I got
beautiful part of the U.S.
Supposedly the best year-round climate of anywhere in the United States.
Thank you, statistician Frank DeMeth.
Very welcome.
Yeah, it's pretty nice climate.
Well, we come here every week, and we have a mission. We're here to take care of others, and we believe that. Here's the deal, folks. We want to reach the 90% of people that haven't bought and paid and secured this through service. That's my truth. We have 90% of our country that get to lay their big fat heads on the pillows of freedom. That's probably not going to invite them welcomely into what we're trying to get done. But the reality is, I want them to understand our entire world of America. I want them to understand that freedom is not free. And it was bought and paid for by the men and women who've worn our uniforms and gave their blood, their sweat, their tears, their family, their limbs, and ultimately their lives, so that we can drink what frou-frou latte mocha thing you want from whatever coffee brand store you want. You get to drive you can drive a foreign vehicle or a domestic vehicle. We're going to see Ollie's. He's got a foreign vehicle. He's got the. I want to ride it. We'll see it. But there's so much, and everyone takes for granted these freedoms. I don't get enough. I don't get enough. I don't get enough. Well, what did you do to earn it? That's my question. And we're not going to sit here and beat people up about it. But here's the deal. We also want to make sure that we are connecting with our brothers and sisters. And so we have another spokesperson. We're going to bring Bastian on real quick to share with you the mission that's inside the mission. And this is Bastian. Check your 6.
At the People's Patriot Project, our mission is more than just words. It's a call to action. Each of us bears the vital responsibility to check your 6. We begin this important journey with a moment of self-assessment. Ask yourself, Are you truly mission ready? If the answer is no, don't wait in silence. Reach out, use your skills, lean into your resources, and connect with your network. Whether you turn to a trusted friend, a supportive organization, or dial 988, remember, you must be battle ready to stand strong for the mission ahead. Once you feel equipped, take that next step. Reach out to 6 people in your circle. Check in on them. No agenda, no judgment, just genuine connection. This is how we build strength, shield one another, and serve our communities with pride. Together, we reaffirm our commitment. We got this. Patriot Pride.
So why? Why a corny bison dressed up in a Hawaiian shirt branded WeP3? The why is we wanted a strong, powerful image of America. And I personally believe the bison is one of the most powerful images we have in America. The mission. I got tired of listening to my brothers and sisters say, why didn't I reach out one more time? Why didn't I reach out to, and here's the other side of it. Why didn't they just reach out to me when they needed help? Okay, so let's take away that factor. You have it now in your hands to reach out to your brothers and sisters. We're going to ask you to type it in, copy it, paste it into 6 conversations. Branding there, look at that. Check your 6. We're going to go after and get 6 of our brothers and sisters and make sure they're doing okay. Look into your leadership. They need it. Look into that one relationship that got sideways along the way. We all have one for whatever reason. Make it tough, but reach out to 6 people. And yes, we are mission forward with veterans and first responders. This is good for everybody. So it doesn't hurt. Build those relationships. Continue building those relationships and making sure everyone's safe. That's what we're going. Now we're here to hear the mission of our amazing guest tonight, Ali Hemyari. Tell us who you are, tell us about your service, and tell us a brief on your mission.
Well, my name's Ali Hemyari. I'm a business guy, but my service back to the community is severalfold. I'm a law enforcement officer. I had been for next month, will make 16 years. I currently run a reserve division for a local police department here, right on the outskirts of Nashville. I'm a 2nd lieutenant with the United States Air Force Civil Air Patrol. And then lastly, I run the rescue squad for Nashville, the Davidson County Rescue Squad's K-9 team, where we deploy and either recover or find family members that are lost.
Outstanding. You know what? I knew the law enforcement piece. I didn't know all the other things. And so this is the classic service member that doesn't know when to take things off their plates and just continues to put more on their plate. I can only imagine what that calendar looks like, brother.
Well, it is full throttle. It's fun. It's the model I want to set for my children. And, as a role model locally as well, there's lots of aspiring, young, ambitious people that want to get stuff done. And so I'm here to both instigate and push them to do that.
Outstanding. I'm excited to hear more. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run it. I ran in, not physically, not even literally, but Ali, on a YouTube, there's a YouTube influencer out there named Cara X Lewis, and she does a phenomenal job. And she got to introduce me to Ali. Now, the weird part is I uploaded this video and it's right here.
What the heck? Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is called the Pterodine Gurkha.
Yeah, we saw the dog.
Yeah, Nashville K-9 is a dog training facility here in Middle Tennessee.
I document people's stories online.
Sure.
This is something I've never thought about documenting, but I would love to hear more about it if you...
Well, one of the reasons why we bought a truck like this was for this kind of conversation.
Wow, well, I'm Kara.
Kara, I'm Ali. Pleasure to meet you. Come on down. I'll give you a full tour of the facility.
We would love to.
Let's do it.
I'll see you guys there.
Wait, we just follow you?
Just follow me, yeah.
Okay.
Right down the road.
Lonely, somewhere at a bar, I'd say tell me where you are, I don't mind another scarf, it was only way back then
B7 rated. It's the same truck they used in Fast and Furious at the Rock Thing.
If my man was a little more stuck there in the middle of your memory, I bet we'd be right back where you left me, but tonight I'm fine, don't you get it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Are you guys ready to enter the halls of greatness? Welcome to Nashville K-9. After you. We built the whole interior to look like a small town. And the idea behind that was we could imprint dogs to different textures akin to them walking through like a downtown Nashville or downtown Franklin. On the right, we have City Hall. We call it Franklin City Hall since we're in the Franklin area and obviously we deal with furry dogs. We have a complete mock home. It's got a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen. Wow. This way we can work on don't climb on the couch, don't steal food off the countertops, sit at the door before entering or leaving. Back here, we have our own broadcast room, private aviation company, which manages the Nashville K-9 jet. It's a Hawker 800 XP located at Nashville International Airport.
No.
Yeah.
You guys have a jet?
Yeah, this is the best way that we can bring working dogs back from Europe, but it's also available for any kind of client that wants to charter it to take their pets or their crazy uncles wherever they want to go.
So it's an actual hangar in BNA Airport?
Yeah, there's over 15 planes in the fleet. Smallest is a beach jet all the way up to Gulfstream 5, and you can go global with any of those planes.
So what are the chances of checking it out?
Yeah, well, I'd be glad to zip you on over there.
Really? Actually?
Well, not right now, but soon. In the next few days, I'd love to have you over there. We'll give you a full tour of the hangar and everything.
Oh my, I fly to California tomorrow for an entire month.
Well, why didn't you take one of our planes?
Who are you?
One of the main reasons why we built in training fields indoors is to be immune to the environment. So if it's raining, if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's snowing, if it's icy, it doesn't matter. We can continue training anyway. Back here is our graduation area. This is probably the most difficult thing we do is get them to sit still while we take.
That is a part of Hemyari's story and what he's doing down in Nashville.
Check it out.
Oh, look at that guy. Bam, 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 bam.
And we've got this other one.
Now, what is the typical turnaround time for a dog in general? Because I know 2 German short hairs that probably could spend a little time in your place.
So board and train program, we offer a 2-week or 3-week. And we'd love to have your GSPs. In either of those programs, dogs get trained at least 3 times a day, exercised 8 to 10 times a day. We work on behavioral issues twice daily. We train all 7 days a week. They're rotated between the entire staff of trainers. We email pictures home every Tuesday and Saturday, generally 20 or more each time. And then when you come to pick up, we place everybody through a training course. It's approximately 2 hours. I'd say about half an hour of it's classroom time. The remaining hour and a half is practical, where we'll do a command, then you'll do a command. We'll go back and forth until you feel really good about it. Then you go home with a tutorial video of that class in case you forget something. You'll have access to our online training website. It's called Coach Fido. I don't know of any other dog training facility in the nation that has their own dedicated online dog training website. There's over 600 videos on there. And clients get access to the Platinum package, which is around 130 videos. And in the 3-week program, they also get a video of their dog doing everything. And we don't use electric collars and we don't use choke collars. And that's another thing that makes us kind of unique in today's age of dog training.
That's amazing.
I'm blown away. And we have worked or talked with numbers of canine training programs, just because it fits the niche of a training with adoption of, support animals. And this, I don't know that I've seen anything like what you've put together, Ollie, and very, very impressed with the vision, the passion, and just the get her done.
Well, it really means a lot. Thank you, Mark. I think most of that is attributed to the great staff that we have. I mean, without a great team and a great culture, we can't move the needle. And most of my staff are basically badass women. And they come in there, they work hard, they crush it, and we couldn't move the needle without them. So, the hat's really off to them that we're able to do so much. But it means a lot. Your kind words mean a lot. It's a lot of hard work. We're not afraid of the grind, and we're tenacious every day.
Do you have any job openings? I mean, I know Andrea would probably rather teach canines than 8th graders, so that's why the only reason why I'm saying that. That's
Andrea, are you looking to relocate from St. Paul down to Nashville?
You have no idea.
The weather's a little bit warmer.
A little warmer. It gets me halfway closer to the coast. Yes. Yay.
Well,
and animals. I love animals.
She could just be like the handler on one of the aircraft where she can just, get, and then you get a taste of the hot weather every once in a while, and that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out of line here. We'll get there. Ollie, it's amazing having you here. Thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy and you got all the things going. So again, we value your time and just being here with us tonight.
Well, it's an honor for me, Mark. Thank you all for having me. It really is an honor and a privilege.
I want to bring on Darren. What's Daddy Peanut all about, brother?
Daddy Peanut was a nickname. Hey, Mark, how you guys doing? But first off, that was a great summary there, Ali. It's great to hear that story. I want to say that.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Yeah, Daddy Peanut. My son actually had a peanut allergy, and he was actually one of the first to ever call me Daddy Peanut because I used to like peanuts, and I used to have to separate them. From wherever I was at in the house, I'd have to kind of step a good distance away from them to enjoy the peanuts. And so that's how I got the nickname. So it always stuck with me. And so that's just the background on that.
There we're at. Well, you are here tonight as our musician with Forced Hammer. Tell us about it, brother.
So Forced Hammer. It's a relatively new band. It's an idea that I years back, I'll kind of summarize. I was on active duty and reserves for the Marines. I was working in the telecommunications sector, in the wireless telecommunications sector, for a civilian job as a project manager, which actually took me to part of your neck of the woods in Alexandria, Minnesota for a little bit. I was working with RCC for a little bit, rural cellular communications back there. And so when I went back on active duty, essentially there was no time to really put much effort into playing music other than just self-playing music, because you're always moving around. We're always deploying. So essentially, towards the end of my career, I retired in 2023 from the Marine Corps, and essentially I said, okay, this is it. I'm going to try to put some time with the band. And I was in and out of a couple of bands locally, and then Forced Hammer was the one that I started with another drummer, and we essentially grew the band from there. So it's not that old of a band. And everybody asked, how'd you get the name Forced Hammer? And I can get into that if you really want to know. But it was nothing clandestine or anything kind of unique. It was just a name I picked. So it was really cool.
Well, let's hear a little something on what you guys got and what you do now. First of all, you're a rock group.
Oh yeah, we're heavy metal, but we play pretty much the spectrum. We can musicianship wise, we can play Americana, country, blues, jazz. We tend to kind of play around, but typically we're a hard rock group. Yeah.
What do you play, dude?
Oh, I play guitar. I'm the lead and the rhythm guitarist, and then I'm also the vocalist. And so I sing and then I play.
Which one of your clips you want to run with first?
You know what I was going to say? You asked about Me Classica because it was a really short, and I was going to tell you kind of a background on that one. But if you want to go ahead and just it's like 40 seconds or something, go ahead and shoot that one.
All right. We'll bring her up. This is Forrest Hammer, Me Classica. That is Forrest Hammer, Me Classica. I think I hear in Me Classica a little bit of a song from Leonard Skinner. Maybe I'm wrong. There sounds like a little riff in there.
Okay, so we could talk all day about the Rossingtons. You know, I mean, we love that stuff, and that there's some truth to that. And I love it, Mark. That's a good point. It was I was in a band when I first really started playing music, and it was Rock Canyon was the name of the band here in San Diego, and we played some Skynyrd songs. And so as a result, one of the guitarists actually had to, I think it was around COVID time, and not everybody was getting together, so I would have to play 2 or 3 guitars for the songs, for the compositions, like Give Me 3 Steps or something like that. So I essentially had to change my formatted way I played. I started using more arpeggios and hybrid picking with just the fingers and the pick. And so just to kind of give more intonation. And so when you're hearing that, it's just that's just what happens. It's kind of the spirit of that kind of like the Skinner side comes out. And it's almost like the Spanish guitar type, like not a flamenco, but almost Spanish type. And I was just, the background with that one, I was just messing around in the garage one time, and I was just finishing up playing the heavy stuff. And I said, well, let me just calm down with something. And then I played that and recorded it. And then I said, man, that sounds okay. And I sent it to my nephew, who actually is a law enforcement officer. He generated that video. And that video, I think on Instagram had like 1 million views at some point. So it took off in South America. It was actually pretty unique how it happened.
Well, it was a taste of your ability of playing the guitar, and if that is the start of the evening, I think we've got nowhere to go but positive. So super excited about it. I did ask earlier, you're a rock band. We have roughly 200 and I think it's 37 musicians on WeP3 radio now. We'll have your stuff loaded up tonight yet. I didn't get it quick because I was waiting on that Me Classico part. And I don't know if country is the easy way out. And I mean, it seems like, I don't know, 90% of the musicians on WeP3 radio play country, and that's the reality. We have very few rockers. I think we now have about a dozen rockers on there. And again, we'd love to create some collaboration between the groups and get those. We've actually got a couple of musicians out in California that we'd like to. And I know that California is like Texas, because everything's just over there, and that means it's a 3 or 4 hour drive. And so that is maybe not real conclusive to getting everyone in the same spot, but we do have some stuff. And of course, sadly, the late Doc Todd was from California, but I don't think you'll be meeting him anymore unless you're doing it in your prayers. But anyway,
amen, brother.
Absolutely excited to have you here tonight. We actually snagged you from some clips that we found with Mr. Mike Corrado and what he's doing in his world, and he's doing an amazing job. We've had Mike on the show and a couple times, and we love the network he's creating and his little feature of veteran musicians as well. And so we thank Mike for the hard work that he's doing out there.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hang tight, Darren. We're going to come back to you.
Sure, no problem.
Ollie, we showed the clip. what are you working on? Where do you want people to focus?
Well, I just want people to do good in their community and give back. I think if you're a successful business owner, it's your obligation. And, sometimes with the freedoms that America's given us, we tend to become selfish a little bit, and it's our duty to give. And so if that's building a house for Habitat or serving soup in the soup kitchen, get out there and do something meaningful. And that would be the mission I want to get across to everybody else. In terms of my own legacy or what I want people to focus on. And by the way, if they need help with stuff like that, I've written a couple books. I don't know how many Frank's written, but there's some good nuggets in those books for people to read too of how to get there and what it took. And so the success code is one of them. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I wrote another one called Discipline. And so both of them are really good books. They're available everywhere you guys can buy a book, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever. And they're both really worthwhile reads. But sometimes people have these optics that, well, they were lucky, or they just, somebody gave it to them. And that's not the story at all. Sometimes it really does take grit and tenacity to work your way up.
What was the name of your second book you mentioned?
Discipline.
Give me a brief on that.
So with discipline, you could do anything in life, right? Because with discipline, things become habitual. So you want a beach body, it takes discipline. You want to be an excellent athlete, it takes discipline. Anything that you can think of. If you want to be an exceptional business person, it takes discipline. And, if you want to be the best soldier or the best law enforcement officer or the best firefighter, it all takes discipline. And we've all been in arenas where you see some of these outliers. Like in the law enforcement world, you see some of the ones that shoot better than the rest, that run faster than the rest, that give a little bit more, that stay after the training to help out others. And that took discipline to get there. But that's what creates the outlier. And those are conversations that sometimes we don't focus enough on. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a good book on it, but I think we deserve to have more conversations of things like that.
I'm super interested in this. I want to get into that book. I use this as there's a book out there called Extreme Ownership that I got, and I really was hoping that it would be a little bit more about digging into the person. It was more of a Navy SEAL exposure book, which is fine. But it's a piece that I really, at least the nuance of having the word extreme ownership in my head says I should have taken responsibility for that regardless of the outcome. Regardless if I'm the leader, regardless if I'm the pivot man, regardless if I'm the point, it doesn't matter. If you're all working together, and again, we're not all working together. That is a goal of the People's Patriot Project, is to find a collaborative process and find a continuance that everyone is throwing. Now, we've come up with this great slogan early in the American world called the melting pot, where we're all supposed to be. We're a bunch of side dishes right now, folks. We're not a melting pot, and some people said we're a tossed salad at one time. That's got some different innuendos to it, so that gets weird. But we are a bunch of small plates, which I do enjoy small plates. Don't get me wrong. I love going to a restaurant that serves small plates, but there's nothing combining it. There is no nuance. There is no passion. There's no drive. And so I love the idea of discipline. It's so funny because being a coach in life, being a teacher in life, being a leader in life, it's like you get up and what do you do next? What is the next move? And that's the discipline.
That's right. What is
this? Setting a schedule, setting a plan, doing the thing. I didn't know this is the direction that the show was going to go tonight, but I I almost hate, because I'm disciplined to watch the news every night. I don't know why I make that a disciplined process, but I want to be in the know. But every time I walk away from the news, it discredits everything that we're talking about right now. And it's like, that's not what I wanted to be part of. And then we hear the people again, the pre of the show is we got 90% of our country that is complaining about what they don't have.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. I have a response to that.
Yeah.
These people need to go visit any other country. That's all they got to do. Go visit another country.
Hey, don't just visit, go stay a little bit.
That's right. Darren's right. And by the way, Darren, thank you for your service. But
thank you for yours, brother. Appreciate it.
When you think about a lot of that rhetoric being so popular now, if they would go into, let's say, just a close by Caribbean country, at least to us, would be Jamaica. If you go into Jamaica, you'll see it's a third world country. I mean, I love the country of Jamaica, but we take it for granted that this country blesses us with so many opportunities that people refuse to seize. Except I see a lot of immigrants seizing the opportunities. I see them working hard. I saw a lady open a Chinese restaurant that's probably like 6 miles from my house. She opened it with her husband and her brother. This was probably close to 20 years ago. Didn't speak any English. Came in, worked hard, ended up having kids, raised the kids inside that Chinese restaurant, was working 7-day weeks, I don't know, for probably 12 or 14 years before they started easing up and going to 5-day weeks, raising all their kids in that restaurant. And again, at the beginning, never spoke a lick of English. I mean, that's the American dream, where you can come to America, not be able to speak anything, take a risk and a bet on yourself, work your tail off, and build something meaningful where you can support your family through your livelihood. And so
discipline.
It took discipline. You think Michael Phelps winning his golds in the middle of like swimming was like, oh, I'm sick, I'm not going to swim today? I bet you dollars to donuts he went down to that pool, jumped in, and gave it all he's got.
Well, so being in the world of education, and I used to teach the 9th grade careers program in a first tier in the city of Minneapolis. My first question every year was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And first of all, how many of you all want to go to college? 100% of people in this first tier inner city community to Minneapolis, 100% would raise their hands every year in 9th grade. It's a great plan. It's a great idea. Do you know how to get there? No. We will set the plan for you to get there from right now until you're a senior. They'd make portfolios, and I would hand them to them when they came back through their senior year, these portfolios. Anyway, designated Somali, designated Hmong, designated Hispanic. The top of the class was always another culture other than white most of the time. It is what it is. It meant people put time in. At the same time, very significant and a lot of dropouts and a lot of not make it to senior year as well. Lots of portfolios going in the garbage because they didn't make it for a number of reasons. Again, the same story. It's all discipline, plan, education, all the things, supports. And again, this isn't unique to working with kids. It's not unique. It's working with adults as well. And it's working with our service members that come out of service, because a lot of them were, when they went in, were 17, 18, 19, and 20. And they come out and they're like, well, what do I do now? Because there's not a plan. There's not a discipline. And that's the sad part, because once they're out of service, then there's no discipline after the fact. And then that's just a whole nother travesty in itself. But we're getting there. We're building it. We're growing it. I'm excited. I'm going to grab your book, Ollie. This is something I believe in intently, being disciplined, having a plan. And again, I like throwing out the extreme ownership pieces out there. Love having you here, brother. We're going to hear more about Nashville K-9 the next time we come back to you.
Nice.
Darren, what are you working on now, brother? What's the group doing?
So that was an awesome iteration there you talked about with discipline and all that. I got to give that the credit it's due. I think we definitely that we're lacking that. I'm sorry, as a culture, we do need to discipline ourselves more. So as for Forest Hammer, we're actually preparing for. We got a county fair we're about to hit up here in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be playing for that one, and I think that's one of the largest ones in California. And so that's the San Diego County Fair. So we'll be on the Michelob stage. So we'll be playing for about an hour. So we're preparing for that. We just finished another show, and we're also trying to put some more music out there. And you mentioned about the rock and the different types. We're trying to put like more of an assortment out on the Spotify's and the streaming platforms of the world, so to speak. So it's been pretty busy. And I got to say, one of the last things, and I think Mike Corrado, you mentioned, great American, and Mike and I served in Iraq together in pretty demanding times. But we collaborated on a video for, I guess you could say, like the suicide awareness for veterans, and that being a very critical time during the holidays. And every time we do Forest Hammer videos or something like that during the holidays, I always try to make sure that goes in the rotation, that recorded awareness for veterans. So that's one of the biggest parts of getting out there and playing with the band with Forest Hammer. But we also invite, to our shows, many veterans. We try to get them in. If there's tickets we can cover to get them in, we'll try to get them to get into the audience so that they can just kind of just relax and let off some steam. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Let's get into what the Forest Hammer. You said there was a story behind it.
So Forest Hammer, essentially, there was a name that I was looking at initially for the band, and one of the guy was a drummer that was the actual co-founder with me that founded the band, and then so he used to hammer pretty hard, and so I kind of just put a little twist on that and said that there's some forced hammers going on, and I was always into construction from a background standpoint, and forced hammer is basically a jackhammer. And so essentially it stuck with the band's name, and we adopted it. And I said that was like about 2 or 3 years ago. We just kept the name going, and we've kept it ever since. And that's what we've got now.
What song you want to run with now?
There's another song I think you should have. It's called Mount Snowport.
Yep. And
it's a little bit of nuance to it. And let's go ahead and play it, Mark. See what it sounds like to you.
Is there a story behind it?
There's always a story, bro. So it's just that one. It was. I have a good friend that's he's a fellow Marine, retired Marine, and he's done a lot of everything. He's climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. He swam the English Channel. He swam the Huts. I mean, he's done everything. Swam off the coast of Catalina, and we would participate in triathlons together. And he's a heck of a guy. And he's one of the guys I wrote this song about, and I kind of would play it. And if he was in the audience, I would sing it and address it to Andy and Andy Hewitt. But it's one of those things of the dangers of pushing too hard. And you want to always be cautious of what you're capable of and the extremes. And that's what Mount Snowport is. It's about a word of caution to do what you have to do to your extreme, but also understand what your limits are.
This is Forest Hammer with Mount Snowport. That is Forced Hammer, Mount Snowport.
Yeah, interesting subtitle.
That was the hardest 5 minutes and 30 seconds I ever spent in my life, right there, sitting through that song. When you however long it was, when you record it, you never really listen to it after too many times. So, thanks, Mark. That was great.
The Angel of Death.
Yeah, Death Angel. Very interesting. Very interesting.
What do you want people to hear in your music?
So the biggest thing is some type of inspiration, and I tend to express myself artistically through writing, and there's always something that's tugging at us. And I think one of the issues that a lot of veterans have as well is that there's always something tugging at you inside, and you want to express yourself. You want to get yourself free of whatever's bogging you down, and that's what I tend to do from an expression standpoint with my music. And it may be a little bit loud, it may be a little bit pounding a little bit, but it's definitely to get your blood flowing.
So I want to speak to that for a moment, only in the fact that we've got screamers on WeP3 radio, and we've got opera, and we've got country, and we've got pop, and we've got Americana, and we've got rock, and not all of them are my favorite genres of music. And what the thing that we wanted when we created the show for We Got Your 6 at 6 and our radio, WeP3 radio, is we wanted to keep a space in place that was kind of sterile, like Bastian said, of opinions, thoughts, and ideas, that everyone has a place. And if we were to cut out one type or brand, loud or not, there are people that are looking for that. And I love it. I begin messages on my phone, people saying that this is great. Where can we get more? We're putting it up. Ms. Eichmann will have the Spotify account up as well. And it's the same conversation happened when we were building the People's Patriot Project. Was you need to specialize, because we went broad. We were like, we're going to take in everything. Doesn't matter the ask, doesn't matter the reason, doesn't matter the purpose. We're going to help any veteran and first responder has worn the uniform. We are here to help. We're here to walk beside. We're not going to drag them along. They need to either be wanting to help or we're not helping. That's just the way it works. And we're not going to push. We're not going to be behind. We're going to walk beside, and we're going to support. And they're like, well, it's not sustainable. And I'm like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard road. But the reality is, if we start specializing, then we start missing opportunities. And that's the same thing with music. If we don't hear your music, and if your music's not available, then we're missing somebody. Someone needs your music today, Darren. And I just appreciate it. I love the tenacity in it. I love the rigor in it. I love the loudness of it. And takes me now. It's movies. I get it. And I'm glitching. I glitched there for a second. It's movie stuff. But if you remember the movie Hurt Locker, what kind of music did the guy listen to when he was getting ready to go disarm these bombs? I get it. It's a movie. But this guy's got all his life and everyone else's life in his hands. At any slip of the wrist or anything, everything can be different. And he's listening to the hardest core rock stuff to get his nerves settled down. There's people that need that, brother. They need your stuff.
That's great.
They need.
It was good.
Forced Hammer, man. Forced Hammer.
Well, when you, I think there's one more. If you play Land of the Rising song, that may be a little bit Land of the Rising, that may be a little bit heavier. So let's see what that comes out with. Did you get that? Did you get that one?
Yeah, we'll get there. Exciting.
The only thing you're missing is a toothless saxophone player.
Man, it's like that's a good one, Ali. that instrument, it's like hard to I don't, things just kind of fade themselves out, and I may be overstepping myself here, but we're seeing like less and less horn players evolve in this generation of music and musicians that we're seeing coming up now that are Instagramming and doing stuff.
Teeth.
Well, a lot of people don't even know what a reed is anymore, so you gotta play with that. So that's good though. That's good.
I don't think you're making the cut. I don't think you're making the cut. He's being nice about it. I'm gonna stepping in for management for the evening. Frank, you're not making the cut. Sorry.
Ah, damn. Darn.
Andrew, you'll want to come play your trumpet next. You don't want her to do that.
Trumpet. Yep, see? Got a horn.
Yeah. We're cool, Andrea. Come on out.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Andrew's she's got to go. Sorry, Frank.
Man.
If you were on the pretty line, you would probably get a chance, but you're down here with
well, if I didn't have this darn pelican sitting on my head, I'd probably do better.
Frank, tell us what's in the news, brother.
All right. We've been waiting on this because we had to kind of push this back a little bit, but here we go. This is some good stuff. So this has been out for a while. It actually came out toward the end of May, but the House has passed at that time 6 veteran-friendly bills to support people through the VA and other places. The first one dealt with expansion of benefits. So they're trying to raise the benefit level for severely disabled individuals, which I think is a fantastic idea. The next one, there was a problem a while back with people who asked for help for mental illness, and they would automatically lose their rights to own a firearm. Well, they've gone back and they've relooked that, and they came up with a Second Amendment Restoration Act, which will look at individuals and not just categorize people as a group and automatically lose their gun rights. So I think that's a good thing. They had a couple more bills on availability and scheduling to make scheduling easier and have more availability. And the last one that they talked about was the Veterans Transition to Trucking Act, which will expedite an individual's ability to become a licensed truck driver, which I think is a great thing as well, because everybody knows that we have a lot of folks out there who drove big vehicles, and driving big vehicles sometimes brings big paychecks. So that was a good one. And the next story we had, and I like this one. This was probably one of my favorite stories in a while. In Michigan, they have a group of inmates at a facility that are raising and training rescue dogs to serve veterans and first responders. And the program so far had done 200 dogs for first responders and touched the lives of 350 inmates across 4 Michigan prisons who were involved in this. And they're still doing it as far as I can tell. And the handlers keep their dogs by their side while they're training them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for between 4 and 6 months. So I don't think it's in line with exactly what Ali's doing, but I like the fact that they're giving people that are incarcerated something to put themselves into other than other things. So this is a good thing. So it's good I think it's good for the inmates, and it's good for the veterans and first responders who get these animals once they're trained. So I kudos to those folks. The last one, unfortunately, this story was about an individual who walked 32 miles to join the Navy. And this was back in the 40s. And this was an immigrant from the Philippines. And they were told that if they joined the Navy, that they could eventually become citizens and would be recognized as American soldiers. So he walked 32 miles to the recruiting station they set up in the Philippines. And the story gets even better. He served for, I believe it was 30 plus years. And he was 98 when the story was written, but he served 25 years in the Navy, actually. And he served in the Korean War, and he also served in several other things, and was at the Battle of Incheon and Pusan during the Korean War, which is some pretty bad stuff. And he served in 54 on the USS Belgrove. That was out near Bikini Atoll when they were doing the nuclear testing. So this person was an example of what I always like to focus on, and that's the importance and contributions of immigrants in our country. And I just wanted to give a shout out to this individual who went above and beyond the call to duty. And how many people nowadays would walk 3 miles to even enlist? And here's the last story, the I can't believe it really happened. And this really happened. So if everybody looks at the calendar, they know that the famous hot dog eating contest is coming up around the 4th of July. And the perennial champion is Joey Chestnut. And how he is able to eat and digest more than 70 hot dogs and buns at one time is beyond me. It's not something I would advise people tune into on television, because it's not a very pretty sight, especially when they start dunking the buns in water and they're nothing but mush trying to
You
shove
don't
it
like
in
soggy
face.
buns, Frank?
Say again?
You don't like soggy buns?
Not particularly. I like the regular firmer buns.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
To get to the story, it gets better, because Mr. Chestnut, while imbibing in some adult beverages, got in an altercation with another person and kind of jack slapped the guy. And the story didn't relate it, but there's word that it might have had something to do with the guy saying a derogatory term about an individual who likes to eat so many wieners. And that's the news and stories for today, folks.
I'm gonna not touch it. I'm not touching it.
You better not. He might jack slap you too.
You can eat as many hot dogs as you want in life, okay? That's the way it is.
Just
Eat
don't
what you
put
want,
ketchup on
enjoy
them.
what you want. Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. It's just
Ketchup does not belong on hot dogs. I've said it.
that's
There
a
you go.
Chicago thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, Ollie, tell us the perfect hot dog preparation for you.
Well, I had hot dogs for lunch, coincidentally, so that's funny. First, the way we do it is we smoke them a little bit, and then we grill them. And then put it on a bun and just mustard for me. That's it.
Mustard for you.
Man after my own heart, right there.
Andrea, perfect
Oh,
hot dog
gosh.
preparation.
So I try to stay away from most hot dogs. I'm all one for like the game day. Stop laughing. The game day hot dog at the Dome. That's my football dome. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Darren, perfect hot dog preparation.
Just boiled and ketchup, and then we're good. As long as you're not raw.
Okay, all right. Frank.
And I was loving that group so much. And then we was putting ketchup on hot dogs.
Ketchup and mustard.
Brother, how can you do it to me? But my favorite, and most people don't like them the way I like them. I want that hot dog crispy. So you can leave it on the fire a little longer and take it off. And I'm going to throw some mustard and peppers and tomato on there. And I'm good. But it's got to be it can't be one of those little, now they make hot dogs that are like the little hors d'oeuvre hot dogs you used to get. When I was growing up, you got a hot dog that was 8 to 12 inches, and you slapped it on a bun, and that was a hot dog. That was like a quarter pounder.
Do you need length or do you need girth, Frank?
Depends on what kind of bun you got.
Okay.
You don't want it hanging all out of the bun and everything, so you gotta kind of proportion it to the bun you got.
I'm bougie when it comes to hot dogs. It's got to be a natural skin hot dog. I will not do an Oscar Mayer wiener ever. That is a baby bologna is what that is. And you can slice that up and put it on your sandwich, and that's a baby bologna. I need a skin on. It needs a snap, and it needs a snap when you bite it. That's my. But I do like them a little darker. I like the grill mark. I like the yin. I like onions on mine. I like jalapenos on mine. I like, but I'll be honest with you. I eat hot dogs cold, Darren. I'm sorry, buddy. I'll eat them cold.
What was that movie? That one movie where the guy's running around and pointing and saying Franks and beans, Franks and beans.
Oh, that we
something about Mary. Yeah. Something about Mary.
Oh yeah. And the hair gel.
Nope, we're not going to talk about that. That's a different show, a different time.
That wasn't hair gel.
Yep. That's when the beans got above the Frank kind of thing, the zipper thing. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that took us down the path we're trying to stay away from, Frank. Thanks for that. I appreciate
Well, it's just a hot dog.
It had nothing to do with a hot dog, Frank.
Now that I know Peterson's favorite, you know what I like? I like a ballpark Frank on a high V deli bun. That's what I'm going with. Ketchup, mustard, relish.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. Got it.
Jamie likes me.
No, it's not. Look at this. Yeah. He's putting you on the fire, Frank.
Maybe that's because I like my hot dogs kind of burned a little.
Was that Mark that said he liked his hot dog raw? Was that?
Not raw. I said I'll eat them cold.
Oh, cold. Okay.
Not raw. I mean, an Oscar Mayer wiener is like a bologna. You're eating a little tiny bologna is what you're eating there. But then again, I don't eat those. Those are gross to me, and I won't do that. And I think it's sacrilegious. I think it's sacrilegious for all these people that are putting cheese inside their hot dogs and it never was made that way. Cheese goes on the outside, not on the inside. That's the way it works. Sorry.
Amen to that.
I thought that's your famous hamburger up there in your way.
That's a hamburger. That's a Juicy Lucy. It's not a juicy hot doggy.
Shoving it inside.
Come on, Frank.
Oh no!
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the news, Frank. Thanks for entertaining us and all this stuff. And Ollie, what's next for you guys? What's the bit? Is there did that little prison training dogs thing? Does that like fit into your camp at all?
No, I did talk to the local county sheriff about it, but those types of programs, as benevolent as they are, keep a lot of sheriffs away from them because of the liability.
I was going to say liability.
That's what they're all worried about. But there's a program like that in Florida as well, and they're huge. It does take steps towards Frank's point of rehabilitation of some of the inmates while giving them a purpose and learning a skill set, right? And then couple that with the recipient receiving a dog that is well trained and usable for service. It's a win-win all the way around, but trying to convince some of these sheriffs to take part in it is extremely difficult. I would guess, Frank, and I'm not familiar with that Michigan system, but I would guess that those are much larger sheriff's offices or maybe it's penitentiaries.
Yeah, it was at penitentiaries.
Yeah. And so I think that probably is the key, is to have something significantly larger than or in a large city to be able to fund something like that and not feel the pressure of potential liability or lawsuits.
Quick question: are those like Cocker Spaniels and Golden Retriever types, but not like attack dogs in that program?
No, they look more like Golden Retrievers and Labs, and I didn't see a picture of a Shepherd, but
I'm sure there's some mutts peppered in there too, right? As long as they get the job done.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they'd be all purebreds. That'd be kind of expensive, especially if you throw a corgi in there, and they're not going to listen to you anyways.
I have a corgi myself, and
I do too.
Yeah, but the group that I know out of Florida, they pull dogs out of animal control or their local humane associations or rescues. So it's actually a win-win-win, because the animal rescue then gets a dog pulled out, which a dog is saved. Then the inmate then begins working with this dog, and then it goes to the recipient.
Yeah, I would think if you got a younger dog, that would be good, but I would be kind of leery about trying to train one of the older dogs, because sometimes they're set in their ways and might not turn out well.
Well, one question I always had about it was I was a deputy for a while, and how are these inmates getting access to letting the dogs run outside to use the restroom and bring them back in? So there's that side of it too. I'm sure they have controlled areas, but the frequency that the dogs need to go out to use the restroom and come back or exercise has to be factored into this algorithm that they put together as well.
Well, it said in the article they were by their side 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So they must be in the cell with them.
Well, it's probably a different level of inmate that's made it to a certain level of trust, or a trustee. That they have those accesses to those spaces and places and times. But Ali, what's the big next thing for Nashville K-9?
Well, we're going to start this podcast soon, and then I'm launching a software called Podentity. It is a kennel management system that incorporates point of sale and CRM into the back end. That's designed really for like pet resorts, veterinary offices, boarding facilities, dog trainers, where it's one software that handles everything. And so the reason why we created this was because one of the pain points in our industry were the softwares created by geeks outside of the industry, which is probably consistent with a lot of industries, I would say. And so I got so frustrated that I said, well, we'll just make our own. And so we are 5.5 years into that venture. We are nearing the finish line. I'm excited to close that channel and launch it. But that is the next big thing that we're doing here.
You have the tech team for that?
We have the tech team. They're based out of San Antonio. It's an incredible team. And yeah, we're almost there. I'd say within the next probably 30 days.
Perfect. Excellent.
What was the name of it again?
It's called Podentity, PAWDENTITY.
Okay, cool. That is cool.
So that'll be a help.
You got any shout outs you want to give to the people in your organization or the people that help all keep the glue together and keep all the things go? You got a team that you want to do a shout out for?
I have an amazing team. My shout outs to Rain, my general manager, Katie, who's my right hand woman, Mariah, who's my up and coming rising star trainer. And I have a couple kennel techs, Jordan and Molly, that are working really hard. And I have lots of seasoned trainers that have been with us for a long time. John Poland, Jessica Baba. Unfortunately, I lost one of my trainers, Nick Walkonski, back in November from a sudden heart attack. And then, of course, all the gratitude is really to our clients. All of the consumers that have fed us and helped us grow over the years, all the municipalities that gave us opportunities to train them, police or search and rescue dogs, and all the people, mentorships along the way that have helped keep me going. Jackie and Chuck Cowden, Matt Gelfand. There's just so many people to thank. My wife has been the biggest saint because I've taken her through basically through every storm you can think of. She's been there with me. Many years ago, I'll tell you guys a funny story. Many years ago, I bought a house and I took the garage, I converted it into kennels. I'm talking about like cinder block, drains in the ground, everything. And the house wasn't that large. It was probably like a 2,500 square foot house. And I had probably 25 to 28 dogs in the basement at any given time. Okay. And inevitably, a dog would have an accident at 2:30 in the morning. And mind you, my wife and I are newlyweds. And so the smell permeates the house. No matter what I did, the smell just permeates the house. And it was those days or early mornings where she would kick me or nudge me out of bed and say, hey, you got to go clean the kennel and wash the dog. That, makes her a saint for dealing with this amazing journey. Sometimes flight, but amazing journey that I've been on, and gives the people at home something to think about when they say, I want to get into the dog business, that there's no immunity to that kind of stuff. Dogs don't just magically sleep perfectly all night and in the morning just can't wait to go out and use the restroom. Sometimes they just can't make it. And that was something we had to deal with for a little over 2 years. It's part of the as you guys say in the military, embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck, yeah. How many times in your life did you stumble through the evening and stepped into a warm ooey gooey?
Oh, several. I've had urine in my face. I've been bitten by almost every breed of dog you can think of. I have lots of scars to prove it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's opened a lot of good doors for me. It's funny is dog training took me into law enforcement. And usually the story is the other way around. Usually somebody's like a canine handler, a canine trainer, they retire and they go off and they build a business for themselves using their expertise and experience that they learned being a police officer. I knew that in order for me to be able to sell police dogs to municipalities, I had to get involved in law enforcement. Because how else was I going to get access to narcotics and explosives and cadaver material legally? Right? So that's how I got into the police world. And once I got in, I really enjoyed it. I was young. This was before I was married, before I had children. I was aggressive and, blue lights everywhere. And it was just a lot of fun. And it also allowed me to take my business to that next level by understanding what law enforcement officers go through every day, and being able to train dogs for their needs by feeling what they've endured.
Well, if you walk down the place I grew up at, you could see all those things and walk in one block.
I know. Well, when I grew up, it wasn't so different than that, Frank, either. And so that's why I added that legally part.
Yeah.
Legally. Do you ever get a chance to bump into Jason Johnson down there in Nashville? He runs the Project K-9 Hero.
I've met him over the phone.
Sure.
He is actually based out of East Tennessee. I think he's closer to the Chattanooga area, but he comes up here pretty frequently to do fundraisers and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Helps with. He is one of the not founders, but organizers for Label 22, which is a better known recording label there, and with some of the people that we bump into quite often. Got to hang out with them regularly, but very good, very good. We'll come back to you, and the last thing is we'll do our final thoughts. Darren, we got one more song from you and one more. What's the next big thing with the Forced Hammer?
Oh, the next big thing. First of all, that song is going to be a lot of fun. I think I had a couple of video clips in there. Essentially, we're human. We have, the day jobs. I'm actually enrolled in civil engineering educational pursuits right now. So we're trying to go through and release an extended play album with some of our music that'll be, like I said, across all streaming platforms. And we're also launching our website, which has Forced Hammer materials and Forced Hammer merchandise. So, by the way, the plug-in is forcedhammer.com for any of those out there that want to search our website for anything information about upcoming shows and releases and also merchandise. So we're available, and we're trying to just push that out there and grow our audience as well.
Do you got a website team?
Actually, my website team is a web programmer through his day job. He's our bass player. Okay. And so he's been building it for us, and he's done a fabulous, fantastic job. If you check it out, he's done it from scratch. And we've got web commerce as our operating software merchandiser. So we're able to receive any type of payment, any type of we even offer PayPal, payments through PayPal. So we're really pushing forward on it. So there's that for the audience as well.
Awesome. Tell us about this last song we're going to roll.
Okay, so I believe this one's Land of the Rising. And interestingly enough, it was recorded with our former drummer, who's no longer with us. He retired. And it was just, like we were talking about the demands of the drumming. And he was an interesting guy. Lauren Jarvis toured with Black Oak, Arkansas in a day, Cinderella. And he was had a lot of experience as drummers, and I caught him at kind of the tail end of his drumming career. And so luckily we had about a year with him, year and a half. So that's essentially what you'll see is the last video of him with us, and he's on the drum set. So this is essentially a song about 1945, August 1945, significance of the dropping of the bomb in Hiroshima. And it's unfortunate that it had to happen, but it had to happen. And we pay tribute to the folks there that were victims of that. But like I said, it's something that happened, and it's part of history, and it did. So that's what this song is about. So if you want to go ahead and play it, it'd be awesome.
This is Forrest Hammer with Land of the Rising Sun.
You're a really good guitar player. You could.
Hey, that was the hardest 4 minutes and 45 seconds of my life listening. Everyone, it's like you can't watch your own golf game. You can't listen to your own music. No, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
That was Force Hammer.
Yeah. Hey, so the it's interesting when you're writing about something and you write your music, you always put yourself in the eyes or the shoes of someone that it's about. So essentially, that's you can be a protagonist or an antagonist. And I usually pick both sides of that. And so that was kind of for that particular song in that video. It was written from the perspective of a young dude that's obviously he can't fight. He's actually probably for the Emperor he used him anyway. But essentially, it's a young Japanese brother who's trying to figure out how to make his way in this world. He can't swing a sword, but obviously they're getting their butt handed to them by the Americans, and we're dropping bombs. So it's just from that perspective, it's like the fighting, to the end of the kind of kamikaze attitude that I'm trying to, from a antagonist protagonist standpoint, but trying to illustrate there. And I thought the video tries to illustrate it. So, but that's what the song is about.
Intense, brother, intense. You want to do any shout outs to your band members?
No, no, of course. Yeah, I just saw those guys. They're like family. No, Miguel, he's our new drummer, and really thankful to have him on board. A very new drummer, and he's a younger guy. He's really eager. He's the replacement for Lauren, who essentially stepped off the stage from that video you saw, Atlanta Rising. So Miguel's great. Miguel Solis, we're really happy to have him aboard, and he's here locally, San Diego, California. And then my brother Lee, my brother in arms. Other than designing websites, mixing music, he's actually a fantastic bass player, and you're just blessed to have him. He's from the United Kingdom. He's a Welsh lad, and so he's from Wales. And we talk a lot, and we're really thankful to have him as a member of Force Hammer. And there's also like I said, we were talking. Ali was talking about his wife. Man, I give my shouts out to my wife. She's been backing us up, just supporting us, and that's what it's all about. The family, they've been understanding, and no one really can grasp why we're doing. They're just supportive, and that's what's great. And then also a shout out to Sean Dog Productions from in San Diego. They've actually allowed us to play and open for Truth and Captivity, which is a metal band out of Los Angeles, melodic metal band. They're really trying to push it. I always said those guys want to probably try to open for Metallica one day. So we opened for them, and that was great. We got a chance to work with them and meet them here in San Diego last week. And we're going to play the Spare in San Diego, so that'll be a great chance for everybody to see that. We're going to have clips for that on our website as well. And then in November, and jumping fast forward a couple of shows there, but we're going to open for Grammy-nominated. Now, there's a band that was called Green Jelly. It used to be called Green Jello, but they had to change their name because they were sued by the Jello company back in like the 90s. And they made a claymation, if I can say that right, video of Three Little Pigs. And it was unreal, just gathered a lot of attention. So we're going to be opening one of the opening bands for them when they come to San Diego in November, on November 28th. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and just keep up with forcehammer.com, and you'll find out about it.
Keep us posted, and we can get all your stuff up on our activity feed as well, and our event feed, and we get you taken care of that way, Darren.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Well, we never have enough time, because I do think this group could sit down and talk for a couple more hours, but we want to respect everyone's time. And not a lot of people said, Joe Rogan does a 2-hour podcast, and then they get longer and stuff. And I struggle to get through some of his stuff and content as well, but I don't know that I'm aspiring to be Joe Rogan either. That's the reality. Our mission is a little bit different. We're here to help and preserve the men and women who have worn the uniform, and that's our mission. So we've had so many great comments coming from those of our listeners that are coming on here. Thanks for being here, Mr. Peacock. Another musician out there that we love hanging around with, Phil Cook. Thank you for being on here. Perry Armstrong, you seem to be new in our network. We're glad you're here. Thank you. Want to see and hear more. Just an amazing. There's a bunch of people coming in here at the end and sharing stories, thoughts, ideas. Phil Cook, just an absolute blessing in our network, and is helping some of the veteran asks that we have, and I'm reaching out to them and making sure he's taking care of people that are in need of that additional support. So we appreciate all he's doing as well. But right now it's time for us to close down the show, and we do something we call Final Thoughts every week. Sometimes there's an inspiration during the show. I mean, this was kind of a business first evening, which is fine. A lot of times we're working on other mission readiness and other mission pieces, but maybe there's a nuance that I didn't catch and didn't feel. I do believe that pretty strongly we stepped into the world of discipline tonight. And again, thanks for being there, Phil. And just the amazing mission of two men who are doing great things, one in Nashville, one out in California. And then we got the amazing WeP3 team that is helping across the country in different areas. And Frank's out there and by God, West Virginia, and Eichmann. She claims Minnesota, but she hangs a lot of time down in Iowa for whatever reason. This weekend she was up in North Dakota. I don't know what they do up there, but rope goats or something. But
dude, they hang on. It's just wind. It's all it is. Just wind. You just hang on to the tree, to the deck. I don't know. You just hang on.
Probably went water skiing out there somewhere, didn't you?
No, not this weekend.
Not in North Dakota? Yeah, probably not. But we're going to go do our final thoughts. We let Frank start the final thoughts. And if there's a nuance, a flavor, a message you want the world to hear, this is the time to do that. And for me, on my screen, it would be clockwise. It'd be Frank, Darren, Andrea, Ollie, and then myself in closing. So that's the path we'll go. Frank, go ahead and start us off, brother.
Okay. Well, just to tag on to the last song a little bit, what people don't realize is the other option to the bomb was to do an actual landing on the island of Japan. And even though there were horrific numbers and a lot of civilian deaths with the atomic bombs, the numbers that would have died and been injured had we had to do an assault onto the island of Japan would have been just catastrophic. I mean, not even probably million or more. And unfortunately, my uncle, who served in World War II, was one of the Marines who were waiting on Okinawa to get the word to get on the boats and head toward Japan. And they waited and they waited. And then one day they came out and they said, "We're not going." And for several minutes, if not hours, the Marines just shed a tear and embraced each other and knew that their lives might be saved by a horrific act that we had to do to bring Japan to the surrender table. And God bless everybody involved. It was a choice that nobody wanted, but it was just something that had to be done at that time. And thank God it wasn't the other option.
Darren, final thoughts, brother.
Frank, hey, thanks, Mark. Frank, that touches me. Make sure I'm off mute. That's how I read it, and I was briefed, and that's kind of how I wrote the song. Was the options, right? So the options. Maybe those two bombs that dropped in 45. Maybe those were the reasons we don't have bombs dropping in 75 and then 85, 95. We don't know, but it was a necessary evil, and it is, and it's the inspiration for we're talking about it here. But like 2026. So pretty amazing, and thank you for that, and thank you for the opportunity for displaying this, guys. Appreciate it.
Miss Eichmann.
That was everything. My history brain is peaked right now. So thank you for all of that. I just, and as you two, both Frank and Darren are talking, I'm thinking how many times we've tried to explain to middle schoolers necessary evil. We start out our year with what I don't remember, but there's a theme to like what might be right might not be right. And so it's kind of like the Robin Hood complex kind of thing. Like, are you doing something is not exactly the right thing to do, but it is going to be the right thing in the end. So thank you. The perspective on that is very, I like that. I like it a lot. And then Ali, I took your quote. It is our duty to give. And my gosh, that just puts it plain simple and right on the plate. And as a non-service member, that's how I look at it from the outside. I didn't step into the arena, but I will do what I can on the home front to support when you are signing the line, when you are training, when you're shipped off somewhere, or when you just come back home. If you didn't get shipped off somewhere, same everywhere I go, that's where my heart is. If you support your community, if you, keep me safe at night, but wake me up with those sirens, it's okay, because I know you're doing your job and it's much appreciated. And it's our duty to serve. If I can't serve like that, then I will serve behind all those who are on the front lines. So thank you to all of you that have served and then continue serving and sharing your words and sharing the mission. Thank you.
Ali.
I just want to reiterate one of the topics we spoke earlier about, that this is the greatest country in the whole wide world. And if you have any reservations or doubts in your mind, I would encourage you to travel to any other country. And when you get back here, you will have immense gratitude. We may have a few problems here, but it pales in comparison to everywhere else. So God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Ali. I don't know that I have any great inspirations for a final thought tonight. Action is something that I always want to see in the world, and believe and know that our brothers and sisters need you. You were involved in something before, and when you're finding a struggle now or a piece where you aren't, where your mindset is in the place it needs to be, action usually fixes that. That's one of the things. And what Ollie's talking about is an action. It makes me sad to know that there's people that aren't happy with what they have in the aspects of their experiences in America. I agree with him that I believe America is one of the greatest countries on earth. I've traveled the earth pretty extensively, and I've been in some places that they're a lot more grateful for a lot less than what we have. And the reality is, I know his wish is for you to go experience that, and I know this is me not being kind. Y'all too lazy to do anything like that. You're comfortable in your spot. You'll complain about it, but you're comfortable. You're comfortable enough not to do anything, not to have action. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable where we're at in our country. I'm not comfortable with where the men and women who have served our country, the way they are treated, and I'm going to be a person of action. That's what WeP3, the People's Patriot Project, is all about, action. I will reach out to my brothers and sisters on a daily and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Are you okay? I'm going to do that. It's the mission that we created. I hope there's an inspiration for you to do more. I hope there's an inspiration for you to be better. And my hope is that the version of you tomorrow is better than the version of you today. That's what my overall goal is consistently. And I'm not saying be like me. I'm saying you do you. One of the great stories I get, two things I bring up with my students. I saw a student wearing a shirt once that said, don't stumble over the stuff that's in your past. It's in your past. Move forward. And the other part is everyone does, or everyone is a superhero. And what your superhero talent is being you. Everyone is a superhero. I just want to thank our guests for being on tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm excited to get my paws on you sometime in the future. We appreciate all that you are and what you do and the missions that you guys are driving. I want to thank the WeP3 team for all the stuff they're doing. This does not get done on the short term. We've got a lot of planning in the backstage area. We got people working and helping. We've got a lot of asks in the network right now, and that's good. But there's always a need for resources to accommodate those asks as well. Yes, Frank.
Can I add one thing before we sign off?
Oh, absolutely.
When I did a book signing in Michigan this past weekend on D-Day, and I just want to put a couple numbers out to people because a lot of people don't know, and we need to make sure folks know D-Day. So D-Day, 160,000 troops hit the beaches of Normandy from 15 different countries. There were 7,000 ships involved in D-Day from different countries. There were 4,000 landing craft. And there were thousands of warships. There were 12,000 aircraft involved with D-Day. And by the end of June, the Allies had landed 850,000 troops on the shores of Normandy. They transported over 500,000 tons of supplies, and I think it was 17,000 vehicles. And that allowed the reinstatement of freedom in Europe. And under a year later, it caused the surrender of Germany. So, people should remember what happened.
I was trying to bring it up. There is a picture of the storming of Normandy. And there's a picture, and what helped us was Scott Lebedo today did a post on it. And he held up it's my favorite picture to prove a point. It's not my favorite picture because of what it is. I was trying to get it loaded here real quick. I can't find it right now, but I'm going to keep it in our archive because I reference it frequently. But there is a picture of the back of one of the landing boats. And in the middle is this little red-headed, freckled-faced young man. He doesn't look older than 13 years old. Now, by rule, he should have been at least 17. But we also know in our space of a veteran that entered service when he was 14 because he went and he lied. And they didn't have to provide an ID back then. But there is, and it's in our intro, the picture of this young man. And when these things, how many troops, Frank?
160,000.
160,000. And I want to lay a wager, only because I don't know the data and I'll do the research, but I'd be willing to bet that over 60% of those people, 100,000, 60% were under the age of 20. Now, at that time, on the shoulders of young men, because we didn't have women going into those areas at that time. But tell me that doesn't change the face of our country. We're blessed. Gentlemen, if you got time to hang a little bit after, we're going to do some post-show collaboration talks and just make sure everyone's fresh. Again, I want to thank the team. I thank your families. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for the people that came in, commented on our show tonight. Tomorrow at 16:30, we'll be back with the WeP3 Weekly Debrief to share what we're working on as our mission. And next week, 1800 Central Standard Time, we'll be here again for episode 309 with musician Brian Grilly and someone brought to us by our good friend down in Louisiana, Mr. Petrie, who's bringing Jason Sadottle from the Barnside Brotherhood. Go check your 6. We'll see you in the smoke clears. Patriot Pride.